Today I'm very excited to try something a little bit different. I'm going to talk about the laws of boxing, how it's been used against me, and how I turned the tide to study what these boxes mean, because they have a wide variety of meanings. As many of you have completed step 7, you're in the middle of boxing things out of your world. Boxing and bracketing is what I mean, not boxing fighting, but brackets for cornering. I was cognizant of it when I was studying Federal Rule Civil Procedure 44.1 on he court, not jury, where they said the court, not jury, which is an adverb verb. But the funny thing was, in the word the T was bracketed in bracket. The T was in a bracket. So I studied under the Federal Styles Manuals and found the laws of four cornering, that anything that's bracketed or in a box isn't on the page. And I started explaining this to this judge, and something really funny happened. The judge looks down at me and he sticks brackets around his mouth with his hands, making four corners so that his hands were up against his face, literally pressed up against his face, and he had a box on there, and he was talking to me through a box. He goes, "Is that better?" At that point, I didn't know a whole lot. The judge came off the bench, and he sat next to me, and that was a different thing. But, these were the first signs, or the first closures that I had, that I was on to something about this bracketing and this boxing. I thought about it as I sat in jail that night, because I thought it was pretty fascinating how they knew about the brackets at a county level and how they used the brackets against me. As I sat in administrative hold that night, at the time I didn't even know I was running timelines, right? I was just totally a newbie in the world of studying procedures, and I'd studied some in 1995, but not in 1996. I really got wrapped up into the grammar, into the procedures on everything, and pretty exciting times as far as my learning curve. I just wanted to bring that story to you guys' cognition, because there's brackets and there's fences going up everywhere. A bracket is a symbol for a fence. There's two sides of that. There's always another side of the fence, the other side of the bracket, which is what I want to talk a little bit about today. There's two sides. There's an in and there's an out. There's a blockage of communication. And that's why judges are in judges' boxes, and clerks are in clerks' boxes, and juries are in jury boxes. I want you to really think about what a box does, and a bracket does, and a fence does. What does it do? It blocks something. So as people put fences up and boxes up around our lives, and you guys complete your step 7, be cognizant that you're putting a box up around your life, right? You're on the other side of the fence. You see fences being put up everywhere in our lives for division, to create divisions culturally through the race wars and the sex wars and all these division fences that they're putting up with. Heck, take a look at the former United States, the borderless border. They put up a fence for supposedly fence everyone out. This is a standard procedure of division. So fences have two sides. Once they're put up and they're complete, yes, they do block people out, but they also keep people in. So I just want to bring some cognition to the citizens of the world that, hey, there's two sides of these fences. A fence does not create cultural harmony, because cultural harmony begins from the inside of the sovereign, from each being on the planet. I want to go back to what we're doing with your step 7. Yes, you're setting up a parameter of guidelines, and you're notifying your departments of the transportations or your banks or different entities out there that you're now directing them, because they're stuck in a box. They're in a box of nothingness, because the authorizations for their structures ended in 2001 for the state driver's license in the states, because in 2001, under the Maritime Commerce Codes of 2-year salvage, each state was supposed to publish their own monetary system and have their own money system published in 2001. But since none of them did that, they vacated their estates, their authorizations to create statehoods, to create state laws, state policies, to create driver's licenses. And now you're setting up the ship's channels to give them direction that your side of the fence is going to function with correct communication, parsing, syntax, grammar. That your side of the fence is going to stay neutral in a position of chaos where there's nothingness out there, and there's these false ideologies of these fake boxes that are coming at us. The illusion of there being a border, the illusion of there being birth certificate citizens globally that are just navigating through, that are in mathematics. They're not there. They're scala. They're undefined. So as we use our claims of the life and we now look at the box from the other side, we really want to focus on what we want to be in this position. A position of neutrality is a good fundamental foundation because there's such chaos out here and because there's a lack of communication. How does the grammar work if there's a borderless situation? For instance, if foreign troops were to show up on your doorstep, you take your claim to life, you translate it real quick with your Google Translate, and you change it to that country, whoever's coming, and now you give it to them in correct communication, parsing, syntax, grammar. Now you're reverse engineering and creating a paradigm of neutrality to be safe and neutral during times of their space of war. There's two sides of the brackets, there's two sides of the wall. So just be cognizant in your space of neutrality, peace, and harmony and love and communication with your fellow mankind that you are in a separate dimension, but the box is facing the other way and you are boxless in your position of the now space. I kind of wanted to take a different perspective on the laws of four cornering and bracketing and just kind of take it to more metaphorically on how to construct, when you're looking at setting up your FITS channels and things on step 7, what exactly it is that you're doing. And I hope that this definitely helps. Very thankful for you guys just listening to just a little different perspective on boxing and four cornering.